We're in RGB part 3 now. We're going to learn how to make the default colors. See, this is yellow and white. We can click this little tiny icon, or we can hit the D key on the keyboard. Now I've got black and white. If I want the white on the top, this little curvy thing, I can click that, or I can click the X key on the keyboard. So I've got the default colors back. Now I don't want white, actually, I want black. I'm going to introduce you to hierarchy, type, and then in our next lesson, I think we'll do layer styles. We'll see how long this takes. But if you notice, if you go to the Move tool, and we've got highlighted the yellow bar. Well, the yellow bar, if you notice, that layer's at the very bottom of the layers panel. If you move it up and around, it's behind everything. If you want it on top of everything, all I have to do is grab the layer. See that double line? Let go. Now watch. It's in front of everything. So the top layer is in the foreground. The bottom layer is in the background, if you want to think of it like that. And every layer in between, for example, the red layer's behind the yellow, but it's in front of the blue and the green. So that, and it's very easy to move the hierarchy around. You just grab, see the little fist? Let go, grab, let go, grab, let go. You can move a group to the top. I like to keep the backup on the bottom. So that's hierarchy. We did free transform in the last lesson. Let's add type. So we're going to go over here to our toolbar, and the T stands for type. When you go into the type tool, you get this options bar with size and the font, and this is paragraph, center, left, right, justified, color of the type. I don't want yellow, I want black. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go down here, and as close to the bottom middle as I can get, and I got 000. That's what I wanted. Click OK. It's not a big deal if you don't get 000. I just wanted to show you how to do that. So now, see this cursor? It's an I-beam. We're going to name all of the layers. They're going to be on separate layers, though. And one thing to always remember, when you copy, paste, or create a new layer, it's always created above the layer you're sitting on. So right now, the type would go here. So if I want the type to go on the top, I'll click this layer, and it'll go above the yellow bar. So I'll leave it on there, and I'll click right here, and I will type the word yellow. And when I'm done typing, Photoshop does not like blinking cursors. So if you hit the return key or the backspace key on the keyboard in the PC, you're going to get a second line. You do not want a second line. Or if you do, that's fine, but we're not going to do that here. See this check mark up here? This is one of a number of ways to tell Photoshop you're finished typing. So I'm going to click that, no more blinking cursor. I'm going to go to my Move tool and move over here. Now when I'm in the Move tool, notice the option bar changed to what the options are for the Move tool. But that doesn't really matter anymore. With Photoshop, it's just fabulous. You can edit the type as long as you're on the type layer. That T tells you it's still editable type. It tells me what I typed, the word yellow. I prefer to use the character panel. There it is. It's usually ganged up with the paragraph panel, and it is. I like starting to type left justified, so let's change that. Now see, because we were there, it moved the yellow over, but we're just going to move it back. we'll go back to character. Let's say we want to change the color. Now remember, we are no longer in the type tool, but we're using the character panel. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to get like a magenta, oh, a purple, a dark purple. And this is a real-time preview. And you can see, well, I do or don't like that. Maybe we'll get a bright chartreuse green. And let's just, I'm going to go with blue, boring blue. Okay. Now, the font. Right now we're in Arial Black. See where it says Arial Black? Right now we have 60-point type, which is nice and big. If you click the tiny arrow, it gives you some defaults, but you can type in anything. For example, I can highlight this 60 and make it 67, and then hit return, because again, blinking cursor, and it's a little bit bigger. So you can change a lot of things. Right now, the double T, which I hadn't realized was selected, I must have made something all caps for a reason. So I'm going to click that double T, and I had actually typed in lowercase. So we have yellow, and now the other thing about type, the spaces between each letter in one word or one sentence is called tracking. This again are defaults. You can type in anything you want. I'm just going to go to 200. See how much more space it put in there? I'm going to go to minus 100. See how tight that is. If you want to kern, which is just between two letters, let's say we don't want the O touching the L, you do have to go back to the type menu, click between the two, hold the Option key, and the arrows on your keyboard will start to separate the L from the O. Again, we don't want the blinking cursor. We'll go up and click the check mark, and now we have yellow looking a little bit weird, but we've got yellow looking a little bit weird. That's okay. So now I'm going to type blue, and this time I'm going to tell it to stop blinking by clicking just the move tool. And then I'm going to go back to the type tool by clicking T, type red, and go to the move tool, and then type green. And this time, if you have an extended keyboard or an FN key, I'm going to go to all the way to the right where the number pad is. And if you hit that enter, it will stop the blinking cursor. All right, now we're going to edit the type a little bit more. First of all, with green, I don't want the tracking minus 100. I'm going to take it back to minus 5. That's better. I'm also going to change the color to purple. Okay, and now I want a different font. So you can go here and click where the font is and go down and pick a different font. Copper plate, fine. I want to change blue. I want to change the font. I also want to change the tracking. I'm going to change the tracking to 10. And instead of picking a font from the list, I'm going to highlight the font here and just hit the arrow, the down arrow key or up, and it will what's called auditioning the type. It's going through all the type you have loaded on your computer. Kind of cool. So we'll leave blue, and we're going to change blue's color to a tinted blue. Okay, you can barely see it. I'm going to go to the move tool, move it over the blue circle, and the last one I'm going to do is red. I'm going to change the color again to maybe a yellow, and I'm going to change the tracking to minus 5. So there you have it. That's part 3. And next we're going to do layer styles, and that will be way fun.